Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with Stamp Creatively. I have been stamping daisies, cheerful daisies. The dies, the punch, or the set, both of them I used at camp. I'm going to show you what I did. So you keep seeing my hands because it's summer in Indiana. And so I always joke in the summer, there's a lot less makeup, there's a lot more t-shirts, and God gave me crazy curly hair, and I can use whatever I want to dry it and straighten it. Not in the summer. It's a little bit muggy in Indiana, so then it gets great big. I went out to lunch yesterday with a girlfriend, and when I left, my hair looked good, and I got in the car and looked at it, and I'm like, I'm surprised she didn't laugh at me during lunch because it just kept getting bigger. So you see my hands a lot more in the summer. I mean, because it's hard to get dressed up to do a video. I had my girlfriend posted the other day, when you look in a mirror instead of criticizing yourself, you need to give yourself a high five because we're all doing the best we can. And so that's what I need to do. I'm going to give myself a high five that you're going to see my hands more than my face. All right, here, let me show you what I created. So the camp card, again, we used the Cheerful daisies. I can't tell you how happy it makes my heart that these two names are the same, that I don't have to, I've got Cheerful daisies here and Cheerful daisies here, and I don't have to think so hard to come up with the name. So we made this, not hard, and I'll show you how we put it together. Okay, I started with the watercolor paper. So I took a half sheet of our watercolor paper and I ran the group of the daisy dies together. And it is, I run it through this way because it seems to cut a little better. Did you like that whole motion? You just got, I am so sorry. I apologize for the entire motion. It just seems to let these little pieces come out a little bit better when it's upside down. I don't know why it's like that, but these little dots and stuff seem to come out better. I'm not super worried about the dots. I have some ladies at camp that need these all punched out. I do not. So I'm going to let it go with the way it is to show you what I'm going to show you. Again, I could poke all of those out, but I don't want to. And if it's your card, so you could do what you want, just like I do, and I'm not going to poke it out. So here's the colors that I used: Pecan Pie, Daffodil Delight, and the Lemon Lime Twist. So what I did was, I'm going to move these around. Let's go over here. So I'm going to start with getting my watercolor paper really wet. And you can do this a couple of different ways. Sometimes I'm just squeezing it out because I don't have a problem doing that. When my customers or my friends have a hard time squeezing it out, sometimes I will put, I have this little mini bottle of water on my desk that says don't drink, because inevitably someone will think it's theirs and pick it up and drink it, and that would be disgusting. So you're gonna wet this, and again, you can do it either way. You can squeeze it, or you can do it this way, but I'm just using that big fat end of that brush. And then I'm going to stamp my daisies in my Daffodil Delight. I got to scooch it down from my head. Oh, that light's in your way. No, what's this thing? Oh, it's the paper. Never mind. I thought I turned a light that was in your head, or in your way. Okay, so I'm going to take the daisy and I'm going to line it up on top of the daisy, because I want that color to run. I want it to really watercolor. Let's zoom in so you can see. So I've got this, and this just lines up real nice. And so you can see the wetter it is, this one was a little bit wetter, and so it all bled. This one's just bleeding a little bit. I can go over and do it again and wet it a second time. I can do what I want. but I'm going to do the same thing in the centers. I'm going to make sure that's wet, and I'm going to do the same thing for the leaves. So for the centers, I've got my pecan pie. Again, I just wanted it to bleed a little bit and not be too, and you can do this a couple of different ways. Like if it doesn't bleed enough, go back and wet it. You know, just because I like when again, I've got watercolor paper, so I can get this as wet as what I want. And in fact, I can wet it and come back and stamp it again. That's what's nice about our watercolor paper, is it's really forgiving. Oh, I took it with me. So you can see how some of it has the details and some of it blends. And all of these look a little different depending on how I stamped them. So now we have the lemon lime twist. Same way, I'm going to wet this real good. And then I've got a leaf somewhere. Here it is. Okay, there you go. It's so pretty. Then I'm going to close these up and move them. Because as I've told you before, I can be messy. I'm going to move these out of the way, and I don't need my paper towel anymore. Again, I did these a bunch of different times because I was just playing with it, and then I would make a sample for them to see. And it was one of their favorites. Everybody liked coloring the daisies. Nobody complained about daisy coloring. Because if you do camps and you have customers, sometimes you get an opinion. Okay, so then I finished my daisies. Now I have this piece. It's 4 by 4, and I am going to stamp these. I just have to move my stuff. Some people are not messy. I am. So I have the flower that comes out of the daisies, and then I have the words that says, "Wishing you the brightest birthday." I'm going to put this on here. And this is the pecan pie paper, pecan pie ink. I'm going to randomly stamp some flowers on here. And the reason I put my words on first is because I have a tendency to get real happy doing what I'm doing right now. And then I get too much on here and I don't have room for words. So I've stamped all over the front of that. I don't make you watch me emboss, so I went and embossed this in the Timber 3D embossing folder. Because I liked it. Then I'm going to do a simple fold. Fold in half. And people name these, like this can be your Z fold or whatever you want to call it. Mine is just a fun fold with my Wonder Basement charm. Down and back. Okay, so there's my simple fold. I'm going to put this across the top with my seal. Oh, look, this was a piece I must have stamped on the back and decided I didn't like it, so it's got two sides now. What the heck? So I'm going to seal this across the top. And then this is from the Daisy DSP, and I wanted this side because it's got that pretty peacock, and then it has the brighter green, and I wanted the green across the bottom, even though it's not the same color as my daisy. Line this up so that this is 2x4. This is 2x4. But I liked that my daisies kind of hung over and were a different color. That's kind of why I picked that color. So I'm going to put my daisies on. Okay, so this is where I got a little questionable about what I was going to do. So as I'm working on my card, I wanted to put the ribbon on, so I have the ribbon. I wanted to use these gems. So I have these gems that I wanted to put on there. So I felt like this needed a little bit of gold. So I put that little distressed gold back here, the paper that we have. But for this one, I want to use my beautiful gold. It's so pretty. That's just like a tub of happiness. So I'm going to put, everybody does it different. My favorite way to do it is with the tear and tape. So I'm going to tear and tape across the bottom. I'm going to do it 2 places because I can. And I've used this at camp before, and they really do well with it. It doesn't get everywhere. It works. We have it so that it works, but not everybody's comfortable using it. Again, I love it. My favorite way is to do it is, so I've used my tear and tape. I'm going to smash it in here, and then I'm just going to use my blend brush and take it off. And I have used this stuff on more things than just stamp things because it's so pretty. Like, I refinished a piece of furniture and I put it in there. I like sprinkled it in when I did the polyurethane because it was beautiful. It's just one of those things that really takes me to a happy place. But if you don't know what it comes in these little pots, and it's just called Gilded leafing. But I open it and put it in that box, and it like explodes. So it's just one of those things. It can expand, and it's good. Okay, this pecan pie ribbon is called Pecan Pie. Wait a minute, let me see what the other side said. Bordered ribbon. It's really easy to work with. It's super soft, and it makes a beautiful bow or a knot. I'm going to tie this in a knot. It's a really pretty ribbon. It ties well, it cuts well. So we're just super pretty. And then to add this daisy on here, you know, I want to make sure I kind of go around the words a little bit because here are my words. They're a little light. I could have done them in a different color, like an espresso or something, but I don't mind them a little light. So I'm going to put some dimensionals behind where these flower centers are. And then that'll be easy to get it stuck on there with a little dimension. Oh, I need to scooch this or it's not going to go in an envelope. There we go. And then for camp, I use these beautiful gems. But because, and they're great on here, but because I have these sitting here and I'm still in this fun place with this metallic gold, this is the metallic enamel effects. And again, I've shown you in the last couple of videos, they're here on page 137, up here in the corner, and you have red, black, and white, and then you have the metallics. So I'm going to, because I can, use some gold dots on here. And then I just have to give it a minute to dry. So if you're making a last minute card and you got to stick it in the mail, this is probably not what you want to do. You probably want to use the gems. But I want to let this dry, and I just like it so much. Okay, maybe I went a little crazy. I need to stop. I have a friend, I joke with her, how much stuff can you put on the front of a card? That's her. I'm normally the minimalist. Maybe not on this one. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic day. It's the weekend here in today when I'm putting this together, so I'm going to have a great weekend. All right, thanks. Take care. Bye.